Okay, so good morning, students. And today we shall continue our next topic in the chapter drainage that we have already started in our previous videos. That was in our live class. And in this class, we shall continue our topic drainage with the topic peninsular rivers. Is that clear? In the previous video, we had discussed about the Himalayan rivers. In this topic, we shall discuss our second point, our second topic, that is the peninsular rivers. Okay. Now, beta, peninsular rivers. The peninsular river, it is clear from their name that these are the rivers that flow in the peninsular plateaus of India. You can see the map. This is the map of the peninsular India. You can see here, map of the peninsular India. Peninsular India. Okay, so in peninsular India, you can see here that these all are the rivers that are flowing in this peninsular region. So that's why these are known as peninsular rivers. Now, beta, the rivers, you can see the example: river Narmada, river Tapi, river Mahanadi, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Kaveri. These all are the rivers. These all are the rivers that flow in the peninsular India, and that's why they are called peninsular river systems. Now, what are the qualities and what are the major features of these rivers? Now, beta, सबसे पहले number one, all these are seasonal rivers. Number one, why they are called seasonal rivers? Because these rivers are not perennial. These rivers are not perennial in nature. These are seasonal in nature. Why they are seasonal? Because they used to flow. They used to flow with their full flow in their own season. That means in the monsoon season. Whenever there is monsoon season, these rivers flow with their full water. But when the monsoon season passes, these rivers used to flow with very less water. That is why all of these rivers are known as seasonal rivers. Unlike the Himalayan rivers, which are known as perennial rivers. They are called perennial rivers because they used to flow throughout the year with their full water, because they are getting water from the Himalayas, from the glaciers that are melting in the Himalayas. So that's why they used to flow throughout the year. But these rivers are seasonal because they used to get water, mostly get water in the monsoon season, and that's why in the monsoon season they used to flow with their full flow, but after the monsoon season passes, they used to flow with very less water. So that's why they are called seasonal rivers. Is that clear? Next, number two, originates from the plateaus. As we have discussed that why they are called peninsular rivers, because these rivers used to originate from the plateau regions of India. This plateau is known as Deccan Plateau. Here is Central Highlands or Malwa Plateau. Here is Chota Umaypur Plateau, and this last one is the Deccan Plateau. So most of these rivers originate from the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau regions, and passing from these plateaus, they fall into the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, and that is why this is a major feature of these rivers, that these rivers originate from the plateaus and not from the mountains. There is a difference between plateaus and mountains. Mountains में मतलब होता है बच्चों पर्वत, जो which are very high, but plateaus are also hilly regions. But they are not as high as the mountains. So these are the hilly regions, but not the mountains, and that's why these originate from the hilly regions of the plateaus and not from the mountains. So that's why those rivers, the Himalayan rivers, are mountainous rivers. These rivers are plateau rivers. Is that clear, students? Next, number three. These rivers are smaller as compared to the Himalayan rivers. These rivers are smaller in size as compared to the Himalayan rivers. Now, as we have already discussed, that the Himalayan rivers are the perennial rivers because they used to get water from the melting glaciers as well as from the monsoon. So that means they are getting water from two sides, from the glaciers as well as from the mountains, as well as from the monsoons. So that's why these rivers, the Himalayan rivers are very large in size. Their path is very large. But these rivers, you can see here, these rivers flow in a very small path. You can see the path of Narmada, it is very slow, it is very small. Path of Tapi, Mahanadi, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Kaveri. You can see here that their path is not so large, just like the path of river Ganga, river Brahmaputra, river Indus. So those rivers make a very long path, but these rivers are very smaller in size. Their path is very small as compared to the northern rivers. So that's why this is also important feature of these rivers, that these are smaller in size as compared to the Himalayan rivers. Okay, next, number 4. form smaller deltas. Number 4, these rivers form the deltas, but these deltas are again very smaller in size. You can see here these rivers form here estuaries and smaller deltas. Here Mahanadi, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Kaveri, these rivers form the deltas, but these deltas are not very large in size, unlike the deltas of northern India. You all know, I think you all have listened the name of Sundarbans. Sundarbans are the deltas which are formed by river Ganga and river Brahmaputra. So these Sundarban deltas are the largest deltas of the world. So that's why the deltas formed by the Himalayan rivers are also very large. But these plateau rivers are very small in size as compared to the northern India's rivers. So that's why the deltas formed by these rivers are also very smaller in size as compared to the deltas formed by the northern rivers. Because these rivers now, okay. How deltas are formed? Deltas are formed when the rivers do erosion and deposition. You all know that the rivers used to do erosion from the top of the Himalayas, from the top of the mountains, and when they come in the plains, they make the deposition. And similarly, when these rivers used to fell into the seas, when these rivers used to fell into the seas, they gets divided into distributaries. They gets divided into distributaries and do the deposition of soil near the coastal plains. But the major problem is that the water in these rivers is not very large quantity. Is not in very large quantity. Also these are not flowing throughout the year. These are flowing only in their season. So that's why they do not do very large erosion and deposition as compared to the Himalayan rivers. Himalayan rivers do erosion and deposition in very large quantities because they used to flow with very heavy amount of water. But these rivers have very less amount of water as compared to the northern rivers. So that's why the deltas formed by these rivers are also very small in size as compared to the deltas formed by the northern rivers or the Himalayan rivers. Is that clear, students? Number 5, form the smaller plains. You all know, you have read in the chapter number 2 that northern plains are formed by the Himalayan rivers, because the rivers do erosion in the Himalayas and do deposition in the plains. So that's why we all know that that the northern plains are formed by the Himalayan rivers. Similarly, these rivers also form the plains, but again these plains are very small in size, just like we have seen that the deltas are very small in size. You can see here these are western coastal plains. These are the western coastal plains and these are the eastern coastal plains. Now students, you can see the western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. You can see here that these plains are very small in size when we see about the northern plains. You all know that northern plains in which Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal are included. All of these northern plains are very large in size because these are formed by the very large rivers of Himalayas, just like Indus River and its tributaries, Ganga and its tributaries, and Brahmaputra and its tributaries. So that's why all of these northern plains and the Assam plains are formed by the Himalayan rivers. So because these rivers are very large in size, their erosion and deposition is very large in size. So that's why the plains formed by those rivers are also very large in size. But these rivers, as we have discussed, these rivers are very smaller in size. Only flow mostly flow with heavy water in the season, in the monsoon season only. Also they do very less erosion and deposition as compared to the northern rivers. So that is the reason that the plains formed by these rivers are also very small in size, because they do very less erosion and deposition as compared to the northern perennial rivers. So that is why western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains are very small in size when we compare them to the northern plains which are formed by the Himalayan rivers. Is that clear, students? So this was the small description about the peninsular rivers. In the previous video we discussed about the Himalayan rivers and which are perennial rivers, and today we have briefly discussed about the peninsular rivers, and these all are the features of these peninsular rivers. And in this way we have completed an important topic of the chapter drainage. In the next video, we shall discuss about the basins formed by these rivers: Narmada River Basin, Tapi Basin, Mahanadi Basin, Krishna Kaveri Basin, all these river basins. We shall discuss this in the next video. So still you have any doubts, you can send me your doubts. Okay? Thank you so much, students. Thank you very much.